Anytime they could prove that you made $1 million a year and you was the head of the organization, that comes with life. He said Big Meech and his brother did what Alpo did, and Alpo told you he did. He cooperated 5K1 or Rule 11 and got to 30 years. Under the A48B, if you cooperate, they'll give you the 30. He said, here go another thing that any nigga who done did federal time knows, right? He said with the CCE, which is a continual criminal enterprise, and under the never went to a USP. He said they did all their time in federal correctional centers. Ain't no way a nigga up on the 848B ain't touching the USP. Now, I don't know, G Wayne.
That
You
that
been to fit.
that's real shit. I'm telling
He,
you, man.
he
I've
said
been
he
saying
Oh
said
that.
shit!
every
Oh
I've been saying,
institution that nigga been to been a federal correctional center,
yeah,
not a USP.
hey, is that like the
anything
one
up
two
under
yard rack?
USP is no. It's like a 3 yard and a 2 yard in the camp. You got a medium federal correctional facility, a FCI institution they call it, and then you got a low, and then you got the camp. USP is the highest you gonna get, but they
He
ain't
said,
lying.
but
If you
up under
up
the
under
super
that,
kingpin,
yeah, you going straight to the
848B,
USP.
you going straight to the USP.
You
So
going
in
straight to the
25
USP.
years, this nigga ain't never touched a USP yard. This how you really know
and
he's a
and,
triple
and
rat.
this how you really know, because he been getting in trouble, right? Phones and shit like that. So your points go up. They supposed to, if your points go up, then you go up to the USP. You don't go down.
He
But
said,
he
how a
stay.
motherfucker how a motherfucker up on the 848B super kingpin status, and the motherfucker go that carry life, and the motherfucker gonna say, yeah, the judge just gave him 32 months off.
I told you,
So he
man.
got an early release.
I've been in Oklahoma with that nigga twice. He was going back to court. I'm telling you, man. I remember G Weed got mad at me, man. I said, man, that nigga ain't no good, man. I'm telling you.
He said, nah. I said, well, what's constitutes a super kingpin status? He said they could prove you made over $1 million a year and you was head of the organization. He said, and the world know that he let people know he was head of the organization and that he was making over $1 million a year. He said the nigga said he was moving what 2,500 birds a week, a month,
It's
some shit.
the paperwork said he was making 4 million a month.
Yeah. So at that point, he said at that point that made him super kingpin status. He's a continual criminal enterprise. Yep, he said this nigga ain't been to no USPs. Nigga, he said that nigga would have hit a USP under A48B with a 30-year bid. He said that nigga would have been bending over grabbing his ankles. That's what he told
Hey,
me.
Wack, because he would have had to straight go in straight there and have to put in work. 'Cause
He
that's
said,
like a
bro, the
four
nigga
yard.
that called me, the nigga that he said, Wack, my job was to read the paperwork. I had to know all details of everything so I wouldn't miss nothing. He said, nigga, I come off of USP. He said, nigga, I just did 19 years for a motherfucking conspiracy and they ain't caught me with nothing.
Believe me, I know the same thing. I
That's
did
a
my
fact.
conspiracy, getting caught with nothing.
He said, I ain't get caught with nothing. I just did 19 years. He said, this nigga's a super kingpin status, making over $1 million a year, right? The head of his organization, that carries life on the A48B, since the A48A, B, and C. He said, nigga, he said, like Alpo told y'all, he cooperated. They had to hit him under the same thing, but he said the judge would tell you, you can tell, but I'm still gonna give you 30. He'll tell you that.
That's real, because they got bodies and everything on their case, bro.
Yeah.
That's mandatory life.
He said you
That's
can tell, but it's mandatory life, bro. Mandatory life. So all these niggas getting out.
up
He
under
said
them
whack.
guidelines.
He said whack. Whack. At the end of the day, he said I've been watching you. I've been listening to you. He said the one thing I respect is you don't know a whole lot about the feds. But you got a few niggas around you know about the feds. He said, I know about the feds. I just got out.
So, Wack, I got a question.
Said I just got out.
Ask that nigga about Ti and see what he think about him.
Oh, yeah, you know what he gonna say? He said any nigga that's coming in there under the mandatory minimum is automatically that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He said you coming in there under that mandatory minimum, talking about you got 5 years, 12 months to a day. Here we go. The minimum, nigga, is 10, 15, 20. Nigga, you automatically that.
Hey, that's what I'm telling you. You motherfucker get to talking. Man, I got caught with 10 birds and 2,000 pounds of weed. How much time you get? 60 months. Nigga, everybody getting up and walking away. This shit don't add up. Motherfuckers think they can out talk them guidelines. Nah, nigga. It's mandatory. Do you know what that means? Mandatory.
Hey,
Yeah,
Wack,
that's
you
crazy.
so Wack, you think when he gets out in this 5 years, they're gonna treat him like he's fucking God Almighty coming out and
Yeah, the
fucking
streets
Yep.
is over with. This
they
shit
gonna
is
Yep.
over with, bro.
he's
Yep.
He
They
said,
are
Wack,
be
I just saw nigga talking about the judge gave him 32 months off. How you getting 32 months off, nigga, when you out 40 years early? The fuck is you talking about? How you out getting 32 months off? You don't fall up under none of that shit.
he don't fall up under none of that shit. None of that shit. Yeah, that's crazy as fuck. But yeah, Beast, they gonna treat him like shit. He ain't did nothing wrong.
this shit done
He
with.
gonna be
Yeah.
he gonna be at all the games. He gonna be at all the motherfucking
Shaking
award
everybody's
shows,
hands, huh?
and they shaking everybody's hands, nigga. He gonna come home like a motherfucking celebrity, bro. Watch.
That's real.
TMZ gonna follow him too. That's real.
Hey, so that selective shit is definitely there because we already know what would happen. Wack even
That's
fucking
by us,
whispers
man.
the wrong word, and they want to crucify him. This man can come out from fucking doing a 40-year bid,
Sure
40
is.
years early, and he God Almighty himself coming out.
Yeah. I mean, it's what it is. This shit been over. You got to remember, it's more niggas telling than not telling. So when I go to doing what I'm doing, majority of people that side against what I'm saying, what I'm doing, is niggas that don't want to get exposed for they telling.
It's telling, they telling.